Monster House, back at it with another war video. And in this one we got a double war video. So this first war, I'm on path 9. We're against Wakanda, and the reason I took path 9 here, the guy usually takes path 9, wasn't super confident about his counters to it, so I offered to take it. So this is the first fight. Super easy. Hazard shift, vision Arcus. This fight is made for Mephisto. I mean, he's almost dead already, and I haven't even barely started talking. It's such an easy fight for Mephisto, and he's a great path 9 counter. There's really not much else to say about this fight. I mean, I'm just throwing an SB3 here just to troll with him, but I honestly didn't need to. I could have just kept hitting him, and the fight would have been over either way. And now he's down to 10%. I don't really get this placement. Most times you're going to see Vision Arcus here, and it just doesn't really make the most sense to me, just because there's so many good counters to it, and especially Mephisto's kind of made for this fight. So now we got Havoc on this path. This is the fight that the guy was worried about, so I was like, oh, I'll just bring my Havoc. So it's actually a pretty hard fight, I can't lie. This is a very difficult fight. The best way to do it, though, is to alternate between medium and light combos with my Havoc, so he doesn't build up too much physical or energy resistance. And also, obviously, only hit when he's in the incinerate phase, because Havoc is incinerate immune and not poison immune. So he will die very quickly otherwise. And then one other thing that's important when you're in the poison phase, don't get hit by heavy. This will instantly kill you, or at least over a few seconds, and you'll die. And obviously, you don't want to do that. So it was like the best advice I can give for this fight. He didn't have it ranked up, so that's why I took it. And I think Havoc's probably the best counter here. You could probably take it with Warlock, but I think Havoc's a little bit safer here. So I am just going to use an SB3 in a second here. I do get a poison, but I mean, one poison is not going to do much damage to me. And if I remember correctly, this is the only fight I had with Havoc in this war. So that SB3 almost kills him. Ridiculous stuff. Havoc's something else in war. So yeah, I'm just going to keep hitting him. You see those resistances are not building up too much. I did kind of miss my heavy there, so I threw an SP1 to be safe. Not the greatest thing to do, especially with the poisons I got, but I'd rather not take a combo to the face if I can help it. And now I'm just going to wait out the poison phase. Being a little heavy there. I definitely want to throw my heavy though, just so I can reduce the willpower healing as much as I possibly can. And I unfortunately did build up the energy resistance to 10. Now it's at 8, but still way too high. That's actually the hardest part, I would say, of this fight, using Havoc, or anyone really. This is just not an easy thing to counter. I could have used Mephisto here, but I feel like that's a one way to take it to death, so I didn't want to do that. But any Mystic Champion that could deal with a node is probably better here. But against Havoc, I don't know if there actually is a Mystic Champion that could deal with Havoc. So, not a good idea. Unless you can, like, absolutely just nuke them down. I don't think there is anyone like that. So, again, I get cornered here. Just going to throw my SP1 just to be safe. There's no reason to do anything foolish in this fight. Just play it slow. Be safe, and it will go down eventually. I do hit in the poison phase there just to give myself a little room, but not a big deal at all. Now I'm just going to sit in the corner for a second until the poison runs out. You have to be able to dex this heavy in the corner. That's important for this fight, definitely. And then I'm going to throw an SP2 when the fight's over. So not too bad. Not my favorite fight in the game. Here we got a power snack mojo that I decided to take with my boy Mephisto, and holy crap, this is a bad idea. Alright, so let's go over my reasoning for why I thought this was a good matchup. So, first off, throw the SP3 here, you're going to power drain him, and you get the infinite aura, which means a ton of special attacks, killing Mojo really quickly, right? And power is not a big deal when you can throw some SP1s to get rid of him being able to gain buffs and also the simple fact that he should be dead before that's even a concern. So here he got his SP2 perfect, playing this fight absolutely perfectly at this point. I didn't take Dex off for whatever reason. I probably should have, but honestly, once you see this fight, it really didn't really make a huge difference. Because I'm sure he would have gotten it to an SP3 no matter what. So that was stupid on my part, definitely. And he used an SP2 there. Still not a huge deal. I still have control of the fight. Really kind of hard for it to go wrong, I would say, at this point. So I'm just going to use my SP3 just to get rid of it. And now I got to bait his SP2. But I shouldn't have thrown that hit there. That was really stupid. And Dex triggers power snack, and he's up to an SP3. And although I do have my cheat death, it's not going to avoid the degens I get from his SP3, and that's going to kill me. That's an instant death. I mean, if I had taken out Dex, I think I probably would have gotten this fight down, but it would have been very close, and Mephisto's just not a counter here at all. I don't know what I was thinking. So that degen, yeah, it's brutal. It really gets me down there. I actually almost all of it, but I just barely die. But I should die there. That's my bad, and I correct my mistake here. I'm gonna revive. I'm gonna just absolutely destroy him. What I will say to this is maybe one of the stupidest things I've done this season. Just wasting resources and not really thinking about what made the most sense here. But anyways. I do revive, I do heal up to full, because I just want this fight to be over with at this point. And I'm not going to have anyone else take it, because I've already gotten him down pretty much completely. There's no need to have someone else take it. And Fisto can definitely do this fight, but I wouldn't recommend it. This is either a Torch or a Yellow Jacket fight. My alliance hates that I like Yellow Jacket, but you can definitely do this fight. I've done it with him before. So, I'm going to get that infinite aura. And I'm not going to make the same mistakes we made last time. Throw an SP1. And he is gone. So the next fight we got is a CGR, same path 9. It's on stun immunity, window of opportunity stun, not stun immunity, window of opportunity stun, and one eye open. So basically it's a stun immune fight, and if you parry him when the timer for stun immunity is inactive, you'll take all your damage back. So just treat it as a stun immune fight. Sim Supreme's fine here. Really any Mystic Champion's good against CGR, as long as you can dex his specials. Fisto, only reason I didn't use him is because CGR is Incinerate immune, but otherwise I would have used him. I do get parried there, but I recover from it in time. Not a big deal. CGR is also bleed immune, unfortunately, so this is a bit of a longer fight, I must say. Longer than I'd like it to be, but it's super easy if you can dex his SP1, which is normally what he's going to end up using. His SP2 also, you can just tank through the block. It doesn't do much damage, whereas the SP1 is most of the time unblockable. Sim Supreme is just an absolute unit against this guy. He really stands no chance. I'm just going to spam some SP2s here. This fight, or this war in general, ended up being like a Sim Supreme war, which was not my intention. He was really just here for this interview with Mephisto, because I planned from the beginning, even when I was going to take Path 4, to take the boss with Mephisto with the Sim Supreme synergy. You'll see what happens with that, but Sim Supreme was just coming in for synergy, and that completely changed when I actually went into the war. And I do make a few mistakes there, but nothing too bad. He's about to die anyway, so it's not a huge deal. He's at 1%. And he's gone. So, one death so far, not great. And we got window of opportunity, stun, empowered immunity, Mysterio. So just don't parry, you're good. Super easy fight with literally anyone ever. I don't know like how I could possibly mess this fight up, but somehow I do. Starters, I take the SP1 right to the face. Not really sure what happened there. I couldn't tell you. And I can still get the fight down at this point. It's not a huge deal, but I am a little annoyed about that. I'm playing super safe right now. I'm gonna build him to an SB2 so I can power drain him with my SB3. Get the permanent aura. It's looking manageable at this point, I would say. I should have brought an invuln boost for this fight, but I didn't. I was trying to save him. So I do get a parry off there. And I'm going to throw an SP2. Just trying to get him down. I'm not feeling comfortable at all in this fight. I believe I'm going to bait an SP2 here. Yep. I mean, it's not looking like I'm going to die, I would say, at this point. It's looking very manageable. But I make a really, really stupid mistake, and I really mess up an intercept right there. It's something to do with Mysterio's spacing on his medium dash, and yeah, gets me killed. I do finish him off with Havoc. It's an easy fight. I messed it up. Here we got is the Magneto boss. I was super nervous taking this fight, and I must say, after a lot of thought, I decided I was going to take it with Sun Supreme instead of Mephisto, just because I thought with a bunch of boosts, Sun Supreme would be a lot better overall than Mephisto would be. And mainly those boosts are like power boosts and power back boosts, so I can get a bunch of SP2s going over and over and over again just to get this guy down as quickly as possible. And not just that, he also has probably the most reliable staggers in the game. So he's super nice to have against Magneto's heavy, get easy openings without having to parry or intercept. So I'm going to throw an SP2 here. Oh, this fight is so much fun. Just looking back at it now, this is a really fun fight. Super easy with Sun Supreme. It's actually a really quick fight too. I was surprised at that. I'm playing super safe just because it's a boss fight. I do take the SP2 to the block. I can obviously dex it. I think everyone can, but why risk it? I'm getting so much power from this, from these boosts, and it's really helping get this guy down really quickly. That's the thing with a boss fight. You don't want it to last too long, otherwise you're very concerned that either you're going to make a stupid mistake or you're not going to be able to get it down. So getting him down as quick as possible is definitely the priority here. He's already down to 13. He's probably been about a minute. Not bad at all. And this is honestly my redemption for my really shitty war. I mean, it was terrible, honestly. I don't even know what happened, but here's redemption for it. And I'm playing very safe at the end here just because if I make a single mistake, I'm dead. So I am going to throw my SP3 and this will end the fight. Not my best war, but it's a double header video, so you get at least another war that I would say was a lot better than this one. And I do get solo in the boss, which is nice. Definitely very nice. And we ended up winning the war, so overall pretty good war for our alliance. Maybe not my best war, but still not bad. This war I'm back on path 4. We got Black Widow, Clairvoyant, and this alliance is the Dark Avengers. So what I will say for this fight, this is actually kind of a pain fight a lot of the time if it's not played correctly. If you make one mistake against Black Widow, like right here, it can go south really quickly because she hits really hard when she has that Fury from the node. But I mean, Elsa just nukes her down, so it's not a huge deal. But any single mistake in this fight could kill you. That's the problem with that fight. But that fight's down. Then we got a Mangog on Footloose and Kinetic Transference. This fight is awful. Actually, no, this is Aggression Prowess Special Focus 1. This fight is awful as well. I was going to bring in Yellow Jacket, but I hesitated in doing that because I needed to bring a counter to the next fight, which was a Footloose and Kinetic Transference Killmonger, and Yellow Jacket could definitely not handle that. So I did the safer option, which was bringing Magic. My first actual 5-star I brought in to War in a very, actually in the entire season, so and probably the last one too. I hate using 5-stars so much. Just don't feel comfortable at all. And especially Magic, her damage output is terrible. It's god awful, and it really concerns me whenever I use her that I'm not going to get the fight down. But with this fight, the main thing, parry, medium, light, medium, parry, medium, light, medium, parry, medium, light, medium, special 2. Just repeat that over and over again. It's simple, but again, any mistake is detrimental because of all the block damage you're taking. I end up finishing this fight off with like 10% health, so the block damage is horrendous with the 5-star, but it's really the best counter to this fight, so that's why I used her. So I'll let this one go, and I'll see you guys in the next fight. Here we got Kinetic Transference, Footloose, Killmonger. This fight is so god awful. I absolutely hate it and will never take it again. I'll start it off by saying that before you even see what happens. I do throw an SP2 here. He's going to throw his SP2. It's not looking great at the moment. Trying not to block, but it's very difficult. And I gotta get to my next SP2, which I do miss, unfortunately, and he gets the SP1 off, which kind of screws me into the corner. So that's not good. I can't Dex as heavy in the corner because no one can. So I'm a bit screwed right now in the corner. I'm not really sure what to do. I assume the fight's over at this point. And I was very hesitant on using Magic in this fight. I was encouraged by someone in my BG to do it, so I did it. And I wish I hadn't, because it did not feel good at all. doing this fight. And here I finally get out of the corner. That could have been terrible. Or it really was terrible. And I'm down to 23. So if I don't play this fight perfectly, I'm dead. It's simple as that. And he gets another special off here before I get the power lock refreshed, which I was very much concerned about. And I was talking about that with this guy, and he was saying that won't happen, but it did. So I don't know. My limbo does save me there, though, thankfully. And I'm up to 19%. But still not looking great. I just got to keep throwing the SP2s. And now I have to resort to intercepting, because that's what you have to do when you play Magic. I don't know why I thought that was going to be different, or why he said it was going to be different. It's what you have to do when you play Magic. It's unfortunate, but it's the truth. Thankfully, Limbo does save my health a little bit there, so I know to parry a little bit, but I'm just being very careful here. Because generally what I find is, once you get the power lock on there, you gotta get your power back to refresh it infinite, so it's infinite. And the only way you can do that to get the power in time is intercepting. That's it. 3-hit combo intercepting. So that's what I did. And thank God I'm good at intercepting, because I definitely would have died otherwise. Especially with such a low health pool. And Magic's an absolute beast for this fight, but just getting to a point where you feel comfortable and knowing you can play this fight perfectly, oh God, it's brutal, and it's really not a great option. For me, at least. I would say Ghost or Cosmic Ghost Rider would probably be better there, but hey, what do I know? Alright, next we got special built up unblockable, special burst lockdown, Havoc. This fight can be annoying, but I've taken it before, previous war videos. Best thing to do with this fight is play it safe and play it slow. Throw SP3s and don't question anything that you want to do. Just do it, because once you get those 3 plazas on you, he's unblockable for the rest of the fight. So you just gotta play it super safe. You have to intercept for this fight. This is the only fights. This is the only section of fights that you have to be able to intercept, which is fine, but it's just something to keep in mind. So thankfully, Havoc's not terrible to fight against. I can Dexes 1 and 2. If you can do that, he's easy peasy. As long as you don't get parried, which I thankfully do not. So I do take a little combo there, kind of stupidly. It's actually not looking too good at the moment, but I'm gonna recover because my Havoc's a beast. I'm confident in playing Havoc, and I know that I can get this fight down. It's just a matter of not taking more combos to the face, and I'll be all set. I'm gonna throw an SP3 here. So much damage, and he's gonna get SP2. I'm not really sure why he goes double unblockable, but he does, and you know, whatever. It's just gonna keep trying to nuke him down, and as simple as that. That's how you do this fight. There is no other way to do this fight. And even someone like Warlock's really bad for this fight, because once he throws a special, your armor broken, and Warlock's just gonna take all that damage from plasmas. You need either Havoc or someone with energy resistance. And someone with energy resistance, meaning someone like Guardian or Yellow Jacket. I don't think anyone else could do this fight. It's a brutal placement. It's actually a very, very good one too. So I'm just gonna build with my SP3 just to be safe. But I make a huge mistake there, and I get lucky he doesn't punish that, and I do throw the SP2 through his block, and that's because Havoc's passive power gain is ass, and I thought I had an SP3, and I didn't, and that was my bad. I take another SP1 to the face. I mean, I'm playing this fight really poorly at the moment, but it is so easy. I just gotta focus up on this fight and eventually get it down. And here we got our last fight of the whole video. This is a void on the same path, so the unblockable path. Thankfully, Elsa is beyond broken for this path, and she's no exception for that against Void. She will definitely take some chip damage here, but not enough to warrant not using her, and it's the last fight. You don't need to heal up afterwards, so it's really not bad at all. What I will say is, I don't know why people place Void here, because I think a lot of people run Elsa on this path. She's kind of known to be good for it, but they do. So you know, I ain't gonna stress about it because it's an easy dub for me. And there we go. We got our end of the war. We did end up losing, not surprisingly. These guys were really good, and we didn't play super well. But hey, it is what it is, and hopefully we can hit Plat 1 before the end of season. So that's gonna do it for this war video, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed both wars. If you stayed this long, I appreciate that. Please like and subscribe to the video, and see more of the videos and support the channel. So see you in the next war video, guys. Peace.
I prefer the term autocrat. I would rule as a chief executive. I would not answer to a board of directors or any other entity. Nothing to impede progress. If you want to see the fate of democracies, look out the windows.